All right, hi everybody. Welcome back for another episode of It's Brewing at McEwen, a USF baseball podcast. It's definitely a little bit of a unique one tonight. There's actually a game going on right now. USF is playing Bethune-Cookman. We're down 6-3 in the top of the seventh. We're obviously watching and following that. I'm joined tonight by one of my co-hosts, John Kaplan, and we're gonna just kind of chop it up here for about 20 minutes, talk about some of the things we've been seeing with USF baseball since our last episode. Obviously, we had the interview with Michael Sine, which John did a great job on, and Adam and Matt had an episode of like I want to say 4 or 5 games ago. So there's a lot of different things that have developed and gone on. So we just wanted to catch up. So John, how you doing, man?
Doing all right, man. I would like to be referred to as Frank the Tank for the rest of the episode because I'm going streaking tonight if our boys don't get it together.
Yeah, man, it's kind of crazy. I mean, we're having a great season, obviously. I mean, the Bulls are sitting at 22-6 right now. But some kind of Achilles heel that we have is this school in from Daytona Beach called Bethune-Cookman. If we do not make a comeback here, it would be our third straight loss to these guys. Granted, they're a pretty good ball club within their own league, but yeah, just kind of what are you thinking as you're watching this one?
Um, Honestly, man, I feel like anytime we face, ooh, that guy just got hit in the face with the foul ball.
Oh, wow. Yeah, that was crazy.
Pay attention to the podcast, John or Frank. Here we go. Anytime we face anything that's like 78, 75, just get me over fastballs, we look lost and there's no adjustment. We're putting our foot on the back edge of the box. We're doing the same thing every single time. It looks like Triple was the first one to make an adjustment there, and he absolutely laced that ball. But yeah, you know what? I want to talk about that call.
Yeah, that was interesting.
So what happened was Triple was coming home on a batted ball from third to home, and he was just sitting duck. Catcher received the ball about a quarter of the way up the line. Mark, is that what you would say?
Yeah, yeah, maybe less. I mean, he was probably like 6 feet in front of the home plate.
And
Maybe a little more.
initially, it looked like obstruction because he had uh, one foot on each side of the line, and really, in terms of a straight path, he didn't have that straight path to the plate. Triple didn't, and it was a real awkward, like kind of fall into the catcher,
Yeah.
because that's how injuries happen. But um, I think what the why behind that is that Triple has 3 feet to each side of that running path, that baseline, to where he could have avoided the defender, and he opted not to. So I think that's why the review didn't go our direction. But yeah, man, it just it. I'm gonna keep it going. It just looks like we're not playing with heart. We look flat. Bats have gone cold, and I'm still searching for the identity that we've been playing with for the first 25, 30 games of the season. So, listen, guys, baseball's a weird freaking sport. It is a frustrating sport, and it is the one sport that I hate to love and love to hate. Any given day, anything can happen on that diamond, and you have to have your head screwed on straight. That's why I'm in a podcast and not on the field because rarely was my screwed on straight, but as evidenced by right now. But we're going to keep it calm, cool, and collected. And I've got my chaperone here, Mark. He's going to.
Exactly, exactly. No, it's yeah, it is weird, man. You see like the success we're having as a whole, and you would think, oh, we're playing a team from the SWAC on a Tuesday night. We're at home, shouldn't be a big deal. And I thought that coming back home would help us out because I think we did have
Four straight.
4 straight road games. So that was a factor as well. But yeah, man, I definitely see what you mean. I think the theme is the offense being a little flat sometimes, and that's one of the things we wanted to talk about tonight was some of our fan questions. And one of them actually came in from, let me make sure I'm crediting the right person who um, gave us that question. Let me see real quick. Yeah, so that was at CW underscore muddy H2O. He's on X. He said, how do we overcome the issue with little to no power at the plate? Tough sledding when you need 10 to 12 hits every game to score enough runs. Um, I think that we do have some bats that could have a little more power, but honestly, I actually kind of like our offense in the fact that we don't strike out. We do put the ball in play. We do use our athletes. But of course, you want to see a little more pop. I mean, I definitely understand where he's coming from.
Yeah. In the beginning of the season, I'll be honest, I thought that argument had no merit. Um, but we're kind of seeing what's the difference in those games that have gotten out of hand. It's the long ball. You know, that Coons character from Charlotte. I'm having nightmares about him.
Yeah, it
I,
was crazy, man.
I was simping for the guy because of how much he did against us. They had a few guys, and it's the difference is the long ball, and it's like you live and die by it. But is it 100% necessary? No, but everything else has to work, and that's really hard to do in baseball.
Yeah, I think that's what it is. It's kind of like likening it to another sport, for example, like a team in football, for example, that is efficient, able to, move the chains, able to pick up first downs, 4 yards here, 8 yards here, but maybe are lacking the explosive plays, I guess you would call them. When football, you have your 40 plus yard pass, your 30 plus yard runs classified as explosive plays. And I think that is in a way kind of an analogy for can it work? Can you um, can you do the death by a thousand cuts, which we've been doing? Yeah, it definitely can work. But you're right. I think that it is a little hard to um, have that work every single night. And I know that that's not what Coach Hannes wants. I mean, the first time we ever spoke to him, we asked him like, "What are your teams normally like on offense?" And he said, "We want to have a little bit of everything. We want to be able to make contact. We want to be able to have speed, but we also want to be able to have the 3-run home run because that's like your explosive play right there. The 3-run home run is your explosive play. That is your 40-yard catch." And we're lacking that a little bit right now, but it's not to say that there aren't guys on the roster that aren't capable of that.
Yeah, let's be clear. Coach Mitch Hannes is not CJS. He's not a halfback draw up the middle, three plays in a row.
No.
This is not the style that he wants to be playing with. I'm going to echo what you said. He wants power from 4 through 6. He wants to be able to turn the lineup over at the bottom, and he wants to get things started at the top. And it's like a well-oiled machine. And once one thing comes loose, the whole machine falls apart. So we gotta do the small things right, get back to fundamentals. We may be feeling ourselves a little bit too much, Mark.
Yeah, I think it's kind of a new predicament for this team, right? Like there has really been no USF baseball team that has been in the conversation for an at-large bid or even for an in-season ranking since 2017. So I think when you start to get the level of national attention that we have, I think that it could become a distraction. And I think I'm not saying that it has, but I think you're right. But I think it's kind of like a humbling experience, especially if we don't make a comeback here tonight. So we'll see what's going on with the game here. So we just had a
Oh my gosh.
wow. I look down at my phone and I see Bethune-Cookman drop maybe the easiest pop-up I've ever seen in my life. That catch would be made 99 out of 100 times in your beer league softball league. Um, and somehow a Division I shortstop did not make it. So that
It,
was that was that was pretty great.
it was a center fielder. He
Center
he
fielder.
all the way into the infield because they were playing basically like a six-man infield because this guy's throwing 70 poo.
Oh my gosh.
The outfielders are literally over halfway in, and he all the into the clay turf. And you know what, man? They're giving us opportunities. We're swinging.
Yeah.
We look like we're running with bricks in our shoes.
Yeah.
Let's see if Kulikowski can't do something here. You know, there's no motivation like the Pine and
Yeah,
by
exactly.
Cowboys. So let's see what happens.
And that is an interesting thought too, because Kolakowski was playing practically every day for a while. Got into a little bit of struggles offensively. I think had an error in the outfield as well. So he has not been playing as much lately. Now he's in here to pinch hit. So let's see what he's able to do. But that's another guy, as we talk about Pop, right? He's somebody that I feel like has that. So if he can get back into an everyday role, there's one of your guys that could provide that. And there's a ground out. Well,
Hey man, just like hits are contagious, strikeouts are contagious, all of it, baseball, it's a cascade, right? Everything feeds off of each other. So it's like, who's going to be the spark plug? That's my question. Where is it going to come from? Because Mitch Hannahs can't do it. Schlereth can't do it. Sine can't do it on a Tuesday.
right. Maybe the fella that you're going to be speaking with tomorrow, who is actually 2 for 3 on the night,
You're darn
is
right.
up, is up to bat right now. It's Ryan Pruitt.
Ain't nothing to it but to prove it, baby. Let's go. I understand, you know, this guy's throwing 81. And, but I mean, there's just no excuse.
Yeah, no, you're absolutely right. 2-0
Adam
count.
just punished him. Oh,
Wow. Hey, that's a shame because Pruitt hit that ball hard,
real hard. Yeah.
but he hit it right to the guy. So we're on a commercial break here in the game, but so far on the night, I mean, the Bulls have 3 runs, 6 hits. Bethune has 6 runs, 9 hits. Bethune has 2 errors, and coming into the night, they were one of the worst defensive teams in the country. We're seeing that continue. But I mean, dang, man, they have a bad defense statistically. They got a guy throwing in the low 80s, and we only have 6 outs left to work with to come back from 3 runs. It's tough. It's tough. But you got to zoom out as well in baseball, a sport that has
I like
55 games in the season, college baseball. We're 22-6. Even if we are to lose this game, we'll be 22-7. And luckily, Bethune-Cookman is top 120 in the RPI. It's not like you're losing to a number 300 team or something like that.
this
Uh,
team playing in the tournament for those listening. If you look at any projections, there is no team in the SWAC that is going to challenge them. They're 8-1 in conference, 22-9 overall.
yeah, no, they've been dominant in their league. Um, they've been really solid overall. That program has progressed a lot.
You want to talk about a strength of schedule, Mark? Bethune out of conference, they do not play any slouches. You know, if you're in Florida, you're not going to play any slouches. They're getting the Florida, they're getting the Florida State, they're getting the Miami. I can't say Miami for certain, but I know that they've gotten Florida and Florida State. But it's like one team's ready to play, one team's not, and you know, I like that though. You got to zoom out. The closer you are to a problem, the bigger it seems.
Right.
But oh, is this Lawson?
Oh, nice. Only his third appearance of the season, I think. So it's good to see Lawson Gailey.
No.
Uh, what else did we have on the list of questions? So
What stood
you,
out in the series to you, Mark?
what's that?
What stood out in the Charlotte series to you?
Oh man. Well, I think Friday night, obviously, Edwin Alisea didn't have his best stuff, and I think that's something to monitor going forwards. I think he will get the start this Friday, and I think it's a potential get right spot for him being at home against Memphis, who is the lowest RPI ranked team in our league. I think this could be an opportunity for him to bounce back and firm up his grasp on the Friday night role. I think he deserves another chance to keep staying in that role, and I think that how he does against Memphis, given the fact that you're at home against a team that's lower ranked in the conference, I expect him to do well to bounce back and to maintain at least a weekend rotation spot. And then Saturday, Michael Sine got the win. He pitched really solid through 7 innings. Gave up only 3 runs through then. Stayed in kind of long. But I mean, he's like your ace right now, so I understand it. And then he did give up 2 base runners there, and those guys came in to score. So it was 5 runs charged to him, but he still gets the win. And then Sunday that was the one that kind of stands out to me because Landon Yorick had not pitched at all in 2 weeks. And usually, when somebody doesn't pitch, that means there was something up with them, like whether it was a minor injury or an illness, or I heard something through the grapevine that it was a rest. I'm not exactly sure. I don't have any confirmed information on why exactly he did not pitch against Rice. But I do think when a guy takes 2 weeks off, you wouldn't expect that he'd be pitching in a rubber match, in a conference rubber match on the road. But it just didn't go well. But the Bulls hung in there for a while, tried to make it a game, but wheels ended up coming off at the end. We ended up obviously losing that series. Two Charlotte took 2 out of 3 from us. Yeah, I think the Sunday starting role is or just the 3 weekend rotation spots besides Sine. I mean, Alisea has an opportunity to, solidify himself this weekend, but I'm not really sure what's going to happen this Sunday in terms of who it's going to really be.
Yeah. So yeah, when you start off the game the way that York did, um, honestly, I felt terrible for him.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Because there's been times when I've been on the mound and you just can't find it. You can't buy a pitch, and it's like uh, there's teams that you can get away with that against, and Charlotte's not one of them. It's one of the best offensive teams in the country. Um, there were 2 players that didn't have multi-hit games. Um, you know, Cody Gunderson killed us all weekend. Dylan Kuntz killed us all weekend. Um, and and they left more on than we did throughout the entire game. And they left food on the plate. You may disagree with this move, but right now I think Charlotte's better than us, Mark. Um, I think they're better coached and they're better execution right now, as of March 31st. Tomorrow's April 1st, so I'm not pulling a string. Right now, I think that Woody's got a very well-oiled machine. I think they face just enough talent in the non-con schedule to come into conference play ready to go. And I think that they're going to take off. But that's not to say that we can't keep pace, but you know, we don't have a single player offensively on our team like Cody Gunderson or Dylan Kuntz right now, production wise, power wise, bat to ball wise. And then you've got Spencer Nolan, Todd Hudson, like they're stacked. But so are we. We got caught with our pants down, and you can make excuses to your blue in the face, but you have to execute. You have to play for the guys on your island. You have to take emotion out of it, and it's X's and O's. You just have to do the small things right. We have to get back to fundamentals. That's just the skinny of it, man. We need to get back to the basics, and one of those basics. I hate to sound like a cheerleader. Have fun. We're playing a child's game. This is a child's game. Baseball is like a kid's game. Like there's no reason to not be having fun out there. We're playing in front of a home crowd, in nice little K piece from Lawson. We got one out, top eight, person on first. He's 9 pitches into the inning. So it's it's a matter of just wanting it and doing the small things right. And I know we'll get it back. I know this is a phase and it's a speed bump, but my
Yeah,
jaw's from the speed bump a little bit.
you were what?
My jaw is rattling a little bit, you know.
Yeah, no, I understand. Yeah, I mean, coming into the weekend, statistically, it was interesting. Our runs per game was actually the same as Charlotte, basically, even though we were doing it in completely two different ways. They have more power throughout the lineup, but if your runs per game are the same, you can be just as effective on offense. But like you said, yeah, they have some guys that are having the 1,000 or higher OPS, right? And just kind of doing a lot offensively. We kind of have a mix of guys that are contributing in different ways, but I wouldn't say that they're better than us. I think that that's to be seen as the season plays out. If you look at the body of work as a whole, they had a lot of losses earlier in the season that were kind of just bad losses, which is why their RPI is not as high as ours. So no, we'll see how that plays out. But what we got going on right here? So
We got 2-1 count. Should be 1-2, but it's 2-1 and 3-1. Top eight, one out. So where do you think that I want to talk about Sine's start actually. Not that I'm in love with the kid or anything, but the box score was not indicative. Hosed, absolutely hosed. Get off of my lawn. Goodbye. Anyways, Lance Triple with I think his first runner caught stealing all season, and I'm not even saying that to be a jerk. I do not know if he has a runner caught stealing all season.
hmm,
We can check.
well, no, our opponents have been caught stealing 6 times. So I think he was probably responsible for at least 4 or 5 of those.
Probably all of them. So we can edit that out. So Lance Triple with the hose behind the plate, 2 down, nobody out, full count, back in it. But I was kind of on that bandwagon of we need to get Sine out of the game. He was giving up some loud outs. He gave up 2 home runs. Hadn't given up a home run all year. Strikeout totals were down. Velo wasn't anything to be concerned about. You know, he's sitting 89 to 91, 92 tops. And he was pitching within himself. He was pitching bat to ball, and he was letting his defense do the work. But as soon as I said he needs to come out of the game, he had a 4 pitch inning and an 8 pitch inning, and I'm just like, oh my god, okay. Well, he just wanted to prove me wrong there. But his that 5 run total, one of those came from Sutton in relief from an inherited runner, but definitely not indicative of how well he pitched. And it was a gritty win. There's no easy win against Charlotte, and uh, I'm glad that he was able to get that done. I think he's what 5-0 on the season now.
Yeah. All right, so we're gonna spend maybe about 6 more minutes before we wrap it up. But a couple quick things. So there was one question on Twitter from Nancy Caro. Thank you for the question. Asked if there's any updates on Eli Thomas. We actually were able to reach out to Coach Hannes, and basically he said that they just do not currently yet know the extent of the injury, so there's no clarity on it at this point. Usually, when you hear something like that, there's probably maybe waiting on some test results or anything like that. So we'll have to stay tuned on that. But that would be a really unfortunate blow to the Bulls lineup if he is to miss extended time because he is batting 333 with an 863 OPS, and he's a left-handed bat. One thing I did notice when you watch the play where he slid into home plate and injured himself, it was his left shoulder that he reached for. And as somebody who bats left-handed and throws right-handed, it's probably the lesser important shoulder. Because I think when you're a lefty, your lead shoulder is your right shoulder when you hit, and also as a right-handed thrower, it's not his throwing shoulder. So that is good, but obviously any injury stinks, and we're hoping for a speedy recovery and for the diagnosis to be as unserious as possible. Um, Another thing too, at USF Bull 69, shout out to that guy. He's funny on X. He asked us what our at-large chances are looking like. What do we think needs to happen? And I mean, our RPI coming into the night was 35. I mean, obviously, I think if you're within the top 40, you have a very good chance being at-large team. But lose if we potentially lose this game tonight to Bethune, that definitely would maybe drop us down to 40 something. So at the end of the day, it's just win and get into the top 30 if you really want to be safe. So that's kind of what I think about that. But we're close, right? Coming into that 35 is a good spot to be for now. But yeah, I think we'll just wrap it up with one or two more topics. John, we'll ask you this question to kind of close it out. Um, as we look towards this upcoming series and the rest of the season, is there anything that you would personally adjust, whether it be in the lineup or in the pitching rotation, anything like that?
Yeah. Um, I think I have more to say about the pitching than the hitting because hitting is just going to have to come. But one thing that I saw us do last season um, was going in with a game plan of having two guys splitting the bulk of the innings. Take some pressure off of Edwin. Um, maybe start Caden on Friday nights, knowing Edwin's coming in right after, or say, hey, Edwin, we're giving you 60 tonight, and Caden coming in after. Go out there and shove. You know, leave everything out on the field. Um, because right now we have the arms for guys to be going 6, 7 innings. It's just not happening. So I think that there may need to be a change there. Whether we give Edwin a break from Friday nights altogether and have Nolan and Caden start splitting Fridays, keep Sine on Saturday. You can't switch that up. And then on Sunday, we're just gonna have to figure out, whether it's Sutton, whether it's even. I mean, there's a few names that come to mind that I'm not going to
Well,
say the spitball, but
well, let's not forget the guy that came in and did a pretty good job when Yorick struggled. That was Nolan Bernard. And I'll say, uh, I mean, he had 4 innings that outing and gave up 3 runs, but the last 2 weeks, I feel like he's been looking spectacular. We saw him as a freshman, and I was very encouraged by what he could develop into. And then in the beginning of this season, he got off to a little bit of a rocky start, so I was a little worried. But the last 2 weeks, those worries have been completely, uh, kind of just disappeared because I'm seeing like the sharpness on his pitches again, and I'm seeing like that poise I saw as a freshman. And I mean, 4 innings and 3 runs coming out of on short notice. So I'm sure he wasn't expecting to come in the first inning of that game. Is very impressive, especially when you look at the way he's been pitching the last 2 weeks as a whole. I think that's somebody who might be the front runner for that Sunday role because Sutton is so valuable at the back end right now, especially getting out of jams and stuff like that with his strikeout ability. I think Caden Smith really had only his only bad outing maybe of the season or in a while. Yeah, really it was only his bad outing of the season that he had there on Sunday. But he's a guy that's also extremely valuable in the back end of the bullpen. I mean, against Rice, he did 4 2/3 innings in one game. So I think you keep those guys in their high leverage bullpen roles. And I think that Bernard could potentially slot in as a Sunday starter if Burek doesn't continue there.
I like that.
Yeah. So what just happened with our game?
I'm Alexa. I share this name with lots of amazing people.
Thank you, Alexa. Um,
You are so very
oh
welcome.
my, Alexa
Hope
off.
you had a good
Alexa off. Sorry, guys. No, where the lineup turned over, or it's going into the top of the ninth, same score. Early swinging out of his shoes, helmet flying off, and just coming up with air. But it's not looking good on this one. That's why we play 50 games in a season, 45 games in a season. I think it's
Fair.
50. So,
55, 55.
but exactly. So let's zoom out. I'm gonna try. We can all go to sleep knowing that better baseball is going to be around the corner. We got Memphis coming in town, and if there's anything we all know right now, we can't sleep on anybody. We got to go in, and 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 everybody's got to do their job.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man. All right. Well, I would think we got to wrap it up. It's getting kind of late here on a weeknight, but we just wanted to jump in real quick and just kind of put something out and chat about USF baseball for a little bit. But so we'll put this out tonight, but also look for the next day. John will be talking to USF baseball senior outfielders Ryan Pruitt. That's going to be a good show. So looking forward to that. But other than that, I hope the Bulls can make a little comeback here in the bottom of the ninth. But other than that, looking forward to a great weekend of Bulls baseball and go Bulls.
Bulls.